Hello, welcome back everybody. Welcome to Budget Kyodai. Here we have today another deck build profile, and let's not forget our mascot, Slowpoke. Right, so today we'll be introducing a green deck build, green budget deck build. Everything is, the highest rarity you go is just an R, so there is no SR whatsoever in this deck, so it's really budgety. Okay, so let's get into the deck build. Alright, before that, hi Slowpoke. Okay, remember to tell people to share, like, and subscribe if they like this video. Okay, see, even Slowpoke is nodding here. So please like and share and subscribe if you find this content useful. Right, so we're going ahead first and go with our Digitamas. So straight away we have 4 Algomon. Alright, his skill is basically as an evolution source. When anything above him during your turn gets turned back into active, you get 1 memory. Very straightforward, simple effect, but very useful. So that's why we're playing 4 Algomons. Next, I added 1 Minomon. Well, Minomon, you can just substitute it for any other Digitamas that you want. The reason why I put Minomon is, well, basically it's just because he's cute. You can't resist the Leafmon right here. Okay, right, so that's our 5 Digitamas. Okay, I'm just going to put it aside first. Okay, we'll go on to our rookies. So, for Algo and 3 Goburimon. So that's basically, we have 7 vanillas here. 7 vanillas, 2, 0, and 3. I play 7 vanillas. You can play however you like. You want to put 4 Goburi and 3 Algo is also fine. Or if you want, you can play 4, 4. Next, I added the newly added sort of vanilla. So we have her. Well, she's here for several reasons. First of all, she's a 2/2. You will not evolve her from your Digitama. You will not do that. If you have the chance or the opportunity, you're just going to hard cast her for 2, number 1. And number 2, you see, she's 5k. So actually, this is more for anti-shine. So because Shine Greymon, for every 1 tamer they rest during Shine's entry, they destroy something. Whereas for her, Shine would need to use at least 2 tamers just to destroy her. So that's why we're playing for her. And also 5k, very strong for rookie and for 2 cost hard cast. Last but not least, we're playing 3 Terriermons. Okay, so Terriermon is basically, as long as Terriermon remains on the field, your opponent cannot gain any memory except through tamer effect. So basically this seals off all sort of memory gaining way, such as you have Hammer Spark, number 1, and number 2, another way of gaining memory, more popularly, would be ultimates. When they attack, they gain 3 memory, and at the end of the turn, they lose 3 memory. With Terriermon on the field, they cannot get the 3 memory, and they still will lose the 3 memory onto that. So Terriermon becomes their biggest nightmare. So right, that's it for our rookies. As you can see over here, we've played 7 plus another 4, 11. We play 14 rookies in total. Okay, next we go on to our champions. Champions, as you can see, majority of my champions, we play around 7, 12, 10. We play 12. Yep, we play 12 champions, and as you can see, majority of them is basically 1 evolution cost. So for your champions, you generally would want to digivolve into any of them, as they just cost 1. Okay, if you were to start second and your opponent puts you at 1 memory, at the very least you safely go into a champion and then move on to your ultimates. Alright, so what are the champions that we're playing? Well, first of all, I've played 3 Gargomon. So he's a 5/1 with a 4k. His evolution source effect includes basically for, oh, it's a bit difficult to see, but as an evolution source, for every rested opponent Digimon, he grants 1k. It's the same effect with Kabuterimon from BT01. I chose Gargomon over Kabuterimon because of the hard cast. Kabuterimon is 6, whereas for Gargomon he's only at 5. So as a hard cast, Gargomon is generally better in my opinion. Next we play 4 Vegemon. So he's a 4/1 with 6k. Other colors counterpart generally has a 3/2, but I guess Vegemon's 1 Digivolution cost makes up for his 4 hard cast. So that's why we play 4, also for 1 cost. You can opt, if you want to, you can actually opt to play Gargomon with Kabuterimon at the same time. But like I said earlier, in the event that you need to hardcast, I would choose Gargomon over Kabuterimon. Next, we have 3 Stingmon, 6-1. So he's generally the same with Kabuterimon, his hardcast and evolution cost, but where they are different is through their evolution source effect. Kabuterimon is the same as Gargomon, where he grants 1k for every rested, whereas for Stingmon, basically when he's in the ESS once per turn, if you destroy something, you gain 1 extra memory. Okay. Next, last but not least, we go for 2 Togemons. On evolution, look at the top 3 cards of your deck for a level 5 Digimon. Okay, so this is why we play Togemon, because we want to search our level 5. Our level 5s or our ultimates are very, very strong in this build. Right, so let me introduce to you our ultimates on why are they so strong. First, we play for Lilymon. Lilymon is basically as an ESS, when she's in the evolution source, when you attack your level 6 or level 7 attacks, she gains she basically rests something. Okay, so forever sleep. Next, I add 2 blockers. As you can see earlier under my champion line, I didn't put any blockers. So for the ultimate lines, I added 2 Cherrymon for blocker, just in case you need it, and besides his 7k. And last but not least, I put 3 Okugawamon. His ESS is exactly the same with Stingmon. So the combo would be if you have him and you have Stingmon in the same evolution source. When you destroy something, a level 6, when you destroy something, you basically recover 2 memory on the spot. So that's why. So that's the point of having Stingmon and Okugawamon. I'll explain further as we go on why are these cards so important in this deck. Okay, next we go on to our Megas. Right. For our Megas, we play 4 Sengargo. Sengargo's skill is basically when he evolves, he is sort of like a weaker version of Puppetmon, where Puppetmon rests everything. Sengargo rests one thing, you choose one target and rest, and that target cannot reactivate itself at the opponent's next turn. Also, his second ability is for when your opponent has a rested Digimon, he gains 1 extra security check. But Sengargo, we play this deck mainly for the stick. Okay, next, to Puppetmon, when you hardcast him, you choose 1, rest it, and then everything else which is rested cannot turn active during your opponent's turn. Very, very annoying, very, very useful in this deck. His second ability is basically when he attacks, you gain 1 memory. Next, we have 2 Bancho Stingmon. So Bancho Stingmon is basically here because he solves anything big. Like for example, if you're up against anything with 12k or more power, like Imperial, you go up against Millennium, Omega, Ragnarok, anything with super big thing, his skill is whenever he attacks anything 12k or above, he gains 7k. So he's a 9k base plus an additional 7, he's a 16k base. He literally will take out anything. And on top of that, he gets 2 security check plus 2 security check on top of that. So that makes him 3 hits. And on top of that, he has piercing. So as you can see, before I jump into our options and our tamers, you can see this deck, from the rookie line all the way up here, what we do is we deny the opponent's memory with Terriermon, and we gain memory through the effects of Puppetmon, Okugawamon, and of course, last but not least, Stingmon. Okay, next, we have Toucans. His skill is basically when you have 3 or less memory during the start of your turn. When you have 3 or less memory, you automatically goes to 3. And his second effect is basically when your Digimon destroys something, a rested one, and the condition is that you don't get destroyed, but the opponent one get destroyed, rest him and you gain 1 memory. 3 Flower Cannon. So cast, rest something as a security check, rest everything except blockers. I play 3 copies, and last but not least, we play 3 copies of Hidden Potential. So hidden potential is basically to mitigate stuff like Sengargo, okay? Because Sengargo is 4, so there are certain times where you may not have, or if your opponent put you at 3, you might need that extra 1 memory just to go into Sengargo. So that's when we use a hidden potential, basically by resting one of your Digimon, and by casting this option card, you can evolve your level 5 greens for 0 cost, absolutely 0. So it's 0 plus 1 rested thing. Okay, so how to run this deck? From what we have seen so far, the deck is forever by using Lilymon, Flower Cannon, Sengargo. These are the core units that we are going for. Right, so Bancho and Pinocchio is basically here to tech in. You can put more Bancho if you want to, or you can put more Puppetmon. In the current meta, I would evolve Puppetmon over hardcasting him if given a choice, because if you give people too much memory, there's just way too many things that they can do in the current meta. Okay, then on our ultimates level, it's really up to you. You can play 4-4, but I feel like I need a bit of defensive capability, so that's why I play Cherrymon. Okay, so we have rest, we have Flower Cannon, more resting, benefits from resting. We have Ken who benefits from resting, helps you save costs. Make sure to search your ultimates out. You're going to need either one. These two are your core, memory gainer or forever rest. Memory gainer, cheap, everything is cheap. Then for our rookies, basically the only one with the actual real function to negate or annoy your opponent is basically Terriermon, which negates all memory gaining. Okay, and on top of that, we play Algomon, which gives memory. So this deck actually splits onto 2 different sides. We have one, let me just arrange it, 2 here, and then we have 3, 4, and then 5. We have Team A over here, which is the memory gaining team. We have Terriermon on his own, which is the annoying team. And then for the Forever Rest team, we have Lilymon, Sengargo, Flower Cannon, right? Oh, hidden potential is basically save cost. So I guess he kind of falls under the memory team. Pinocchio is in the middle of 2. He helps you gain memory, but at the same time, he rests your opponent forever. So, right, so this comes to the end of our deck build. Okay, so I hope you learned something from our build, and that if you find this kind of content good and insightful, do help us share around. So please do like, share, and comment, and subscribe, of course. So that comes to the end of the video, and here's our mascot one more time. Goodbye, everybody. I hope you learned something, and maybe you can share some of our deck builds or your insight on how you have played this differently, right? All right. So bye bye and bye from Slowpoke as well. See you on the next video.